former Indians did most of the damage last night as the Tribe lost its second straight to the Mariners. To avoid the sweep, the young Indian hitters will have to figure out a way to beat a king. Felix Hernandez will start against Justin Masterson. Let's rock! Tribe and the Mariners next on Channel 3. Gorgeous day in downtown Cleveland as the Indians and the Mariners put the wraps on a 3-game series. For the second time on this homestand, the Tribe will try to avoid a 3-game sweep. Hello again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Seattle came in here, and they've really taken it to the Tribe, winning the first 2 games of the series. Last night was a particularly frustrating loss, though, Rick, because it got away from the Indians in a brief, short period of time, and a couple errors by Andy Marte at third base. And third base in particular has been a problem spot defensively anyway for the Tribe ever since they traded away Johnny Peralta.
Well, Johnny Peralta had 5 errors in 90 games when he was playing third base, but the tandem of you've got Valbuena, you've got Marte, you also have Nix in there that are, fighting for that job at third base. Defensively, they have not done it. They have made 6 errors in their 17 games. The offensive production right now you don't worry about because they haven't been in there every day, but defensively, you have to go out there when you don't score a lot of runs. You have to make the plays every day, and when you do not, it looks bad. And there's a kid down in the minor leagues, Jared Gettert, who I think maybe deserves a chance right about now.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Meanwhile, if you're the Seattle Mariners, you have to feel pretty good about your chances today because they've got their ace, Felix Hernandez, on the hill. He doesn't have a lot of wins to show for it, but he has an ERA of under 3.
Well, he's a guy that just goes out there. He's going to be a Cy Young candidate every year. He's got quality stuff. In his last start, he struck out 13 Oakland Athletics. And when you look at his record, 8-9, don't worry about that. The 2.71 ERA, that's like the year Kevin Millwood had here back in 2005. And it's Justin Masterson. He's 2-0 in his career against the Mariners. It's up to Justin to go out there and match zeros for a while until the offense can get on the board.
Well, let's see if the Indians can avoid the sweep today here on Channel 3. We'll be back with the play-by-play action coming up next. Cloudy conditions when we arrived here at the ballpark, but it's cleared out nicely. And on this kid's fun day, the Indians take the field looking for a win in the finale of this 3-game series. On the hill for the Tribe today, right-hander Justin Masterson. And let's have a look at the Seattle Mariners lineup that he will face here today. Ichiro Suzuki leads it off. He's gone 4 for 9 in the series. Then it's Sean Figgins, followed by Russell Brandon, Jose Lopez, Franklin Gutierrez, and Casey Kochman in the middle. Adam Moore, Michael Saunders, and Chris Woodward batting ninth.
Today's starting pitcher brought to you by the Indians Team Shops, where you get 2 free mezzanine tickets when you spend $50. It'll be Justin Masterson making the start, his 24th on the year, a record of 4-11 with a 5.47, and in his last 4 starts, he is 1-3 and a 6.55 earned run average. 103 strikeouts in his 133 1/3 innings. And against the Mariners, he is 2-0 in his career. We'll see if he can continue that streak. He's going to have a tough one, and he's going to have to match zeros today with Hernandez. Let's take a look at the Taco Bell Indians defensive lineup. It looks like this. Crow in left, Brantley in center, Chu is in right. It'll be Valbuena at third, Cabrera at short, Nix at second, Laporta at first, and Marson is behind the plate. And when you're making a choice for late night, Taco Bell is the late night place to be.
Chad Fairchild behind the plate today. Todd Titchener at first. Eric Cooper at second. Crew chief Mike Riley down at third. Ichiro Suzuki will get us underway here today for the Mariners. He's 4 for 9 in the series. And 49 hits shy of 200 once again.
Well, in the first 2 games of this series, he has led off with a base hit and has come around to score in the first inning.
2 balls, no strikes. And he's missed on his first 3. Masterson working on that extreme first base side of the rubber. And he missed on all 4 to start the ball game. So Ichiro gets aboard to start the ball game once again. That'll bring up Sean Figgins, switch hitting Mariners second baseman.
And we'll see if Figgins is up there going to take a strike and make him get in the strike zone. Base stealers 9 for 13 off Masterson this year, but you will make him get in that strike zone first, I would believe.
He's missed on his first 5. Masterson came in 60 walks and 103 strikeouts in 133 innings of work. Finds the strike zone there, and the count evens at 1-1. Lee Tinsley, third base coach, going through the signs for Seattle. Mike Brumley coaching over at first for the Mariners. Figgins squared the bunt, took it down low, and the count is now 2 balls and a strike. There's Tinsley, who's had a couple of runners gunned down at the plate in the series opener. Ichiro has a big lead at first, now draws a throw over. 29 steals for the Mariners leadoff man.
Yeah, he needs 1 more, and then he and Figgins would be a duo of 30 stolen bases apiece.
That's pretty rare in this day and
age. It is, and it'll be the 6th time that somebody has done it in Mariners history.
He holds, and it's down low, 3-1.
This is not good for Justin. He's a guy that, I said it early, he's got to pitch ahead in the count. A guy, when he's aggressive, he gets hitters to chase his pitches. When he is not, they get very disciplined, and they're going to make his ball moves all over the place to begin with.
7 out of 8 have missed the strike zone to start, and he's walked the first 2.
I wonder if Tim Belcher sees anything on the side. It's that arm slot that he's having a tough time finding to get in the zone.
Well, Asdrubal Cabrera and Luis Valbuena both come in to grab the rosin bag and give Masterson a quick little pep talk. Russell Brandon will be the batter. 2 for 8 with a homer in the series. Indians will shift 3 on the right side for Branyan. Homered to left. Pretty good opposite field blast in last night's game. He doubled off the wall and left in the first game of the series.
There you go, a breaking ball. What do you know?
This was the home run last night.
Yeah, he hit that ball well. Line drive. Stayed up above that, what is it, 18, 19-foot wall?
19, yeah. Here's the 0-1. Good off-speed pitch again.
Well, slowed him down.
Strikes.
Back-to-back sliders after he throws the first 9 pitches, which were fastballs out of the zone.
And the 2-strike pitch is a little bit high with the heat. Branyan on the year, 15 homers, 15 doubles. A little bit high again, 2-2.
Really a tough time finding command with that fastball. I think he's only thrown 1 fastball for a strike.
Crazy. You know, you would think the fastball would be the one pitch you could always
that's
command.
the one. That's exactly right. You would think so.
Some days it's just not there, though. He's had success with the slider. And the 2-2 is strike 3 call. That looked like a fastball.
That was.
Locked him up. And that's out number 1.
Let's look at the sequence to Branyan. Breaking ball, strike 1. Get me over, 80 miles an hour. And then he follows it up with another slider, and then he misses with a couple of fastballs up in the zone. There's 2, but he's going to hit with this one. Fastball right there. See the movement on it?
Almost makes me wonder if the way that sequence was going, Branyan was looking for the breaking ball because he was having trouble throwing the fastball.
Very
for
good
a strike.
chance. I would not doubt it.
Jose Lopez, not your average cleanup hitter. 240 average, just 6 homers on the year, but this is a Mariners club that has struggled offensively all season long.
Well, he could use that ground ball and get a double play. He is the best in the league at ground ball fly ball ratio, and there's one in the air.
Easy play for Michael Brantley, and that's out number 2. That will bring up Franklin Gutierrez, who has gone just 2 for 9 in the series. His batting average has dipped down to 249. 10 homers for Franklin, 48 driven in. He has doubled 16 times. He also has 3 triples. Could be a big boost for Masterson if he can get through this first inning after he walked the first 2. And a big chopper to third. Valbuena on the short hop. Goes across the diamond, and the inning is over. So the 2 walks to start the frame do no damage. Indians coming to bat. starting lineup is presented by Progressive Insurance. Proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Brantley, Cabrera, Chu. Hafner back in the lineup today. Travis is the DH batting cleanup. Then it's Nix, Crow, Laporta, Valbuena, and Marson. And a first pitch strike to Michael Brantley, who is 1 for 8 in this series. Boy, didn't miss by much.
Hernandez, just 24 years old. Seems like he's been around for quite some time. A guy that broke into the big leagues when he was 19 years old.
Well, I think back to when he first burst onto the scene, and maybe the worst thing that happened to Felix Hernandez, and not from a personal standpoint, but for those who were watching him, immediately the comparisons. And that always happens when you've got a young phenom. But the first thing you heard was a young Doc Gooden.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
Whoa,
or Tom Seaver or somebody. I know it.
And he's got a powerful arm, and he can rack up the strikeouts. Back to the mound, and a great grab, a little nonchalant with the flip, though. And that is out number 1.
Yeah.
Almost tried to be a little too cute there, I think.
He was, but he did get the out. Watch this. He catches the ball, but it's the flip that gets you. Okay, nice. Flip it up. Could have rolled it over if you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Just make the effort.
Exactly. He gets the out. But when you see him prance around the mound, that's exactly what he looks like. You know, he's got that walk that it looks like he wants to be anywhere but there. But I'll tell you what, the guy can pitch.
Popped in the air left field. Routine for Michael Saunders, although the sun making it a little tough for him. 2 down.
When you look at his numbers, he's 8-9 on the year, but the ERA is the amazing thing, 2.71. He has 165 strikeouts in his 182 and a third innings. And, you know, the guy is the 50th best run support out of 53 ranked pitchers. They just averaged 3.3 runs for him. And in 22 of his starts, he has given up 3 or less earned runs. So, I mean, you know you're going to be in the ballgame with this guy on the mound every time he toes the rubber. In his last start, he went 8 innings and struck out 13, which is a career high. That came against the Oakland A's.
Big curveball missed up high. Look, he's trying to find the feel for that breaking ball, and it is so often is the case with the good starting pitchers. It may take him an inning or two, but if he finds that pitch,
well, he'll find it.
It could be a long day.
Well, he'll find it, but in the meantime, he's been able to just spot that fastball where he's wanted to, just off the outside edge.
Chu gets a piece to stay alive here. And the 2-2 offering. Once again,
there's that breaking ball. This one you just throw for the middle of the plate, just let the action take over, and that's exactly what he did. But you can see the bite, and Chu just gets a piece of it to stay alive.
Again, the 2-2. And that time he got him to go fish. And the Indians go 1-2-3. No score after an inning. Your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Casey Kochman will lead off the second inning for Seattle. Bangs it off his foot. What a turnaround for Justin Masterson in the first inning. His first 9 pitches, 8 of them were balls. His last 8 pitches, he only threw 2 that missed the strike zone.
I don't know if after you remember the first 2 walks, he came back and the first 2 pitches to Branyan were breaking balls. It maybe slowed him down a little bit and able to find the strike zone. And then right after that, he's been in it. You know, Justin's a big guy, and a lot of times the big pitchers with a lot of arms and legs that can get out of whack very easily mechanically. And it's just not one thing they can pinpoint.
Hard hit ground ball to first. Matt Laporta takes it himself, 1 away. Tonight on Sports Time Ohio, join Bruce Drennan for a primetime edition of All Bets Are Off at 7 o'clock. Then at 9, golf pro Jimmy Hanlon will get you up to date on the PGA Tour, wrapping up the PGA Championship event. He'll take calls and emails. All bets are off in the Golf Zone tonight at 7 on STO. 1 down for Mariners catcher Adam Moore. I imagine, Rick, for a starting pitcher, you're early in the game, you're finding out what works, what's not working, and you have to adjust off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And for Masterson, fastball was giving him trouble, so he went to the breaking ball. For Felix Hernandez, he was having trouble with his breaking ball, so he just stayed with his fastball, whether it be a 4-seamer or a 2-seamer.
Well, he ended up throwing a few breaking balls to get a feel for it, too, though, in that first.
Big bouncer to short as Dribble Cabrera takes care of Moore, 2 down. I would imagine, too, now that we've got preseason football underway, and, of course, the Browns played last night, beat the Green Bay Packers in their preseason opener. It's a little bit like an offensive coordinator in football early in the game, trying to figure out what works against a defense. You know, not every play is diagrammed going to work to perfection, but you find out what's working, and you stay with that. And
think of it as you have a game plan. You
yeah.
have a game plan, and you go at it, and you have to make adjustments along the way.
Absolutely. And for a guy like Masterson, you may have a game plan, and all of a sudden you find out in the first inning, this game plan's not going to work today, and you have to make the adjustment.
Well, for Justin, it's throwing strikes. You know, and most pitchers can say that. You know, guys go out there that aren't overpowering. The key is to get in the strike zone.
With whatever pitch
yeah,
it is that's working for you on that day.
You know, they haven't. This is the first time we played the Mariners this year. They have no book on the Indians other than watching video or listening to a scouting report. They have to go up there and see it firsthand when they get in the batter's box. And, I mean, Justin's got good enough stuff that he can get anybody out.
2 balls and a strike. Well, there's no question about that. You throw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that has movement, back that up with a pretty good slider. It's just that consistency.
Well, he's got to be one tough guy to catch behind the plate the way it goes. That's why he gets so many ground balls, because of the movement on his pitches.
And the 2-2 is swung on and missed. He made quick work of the Mariners here in the second inning, and we are scoreless in the middle of the second. inning here at Progressive Field. Travis Hafner, Jason Nix, and Trevor Crow for the Tribe. Hafner, fresh off the disabled list, back in the lineup. And batting cleanup, hits a little weak bouncer to third. Jose Lopez throws him out, one down. There's our great clip of the game, brought to you by Great Clips. Jason Nix providing a little pop for the Indians in the middle of that lineup last night. Relax, you're at Great Clips. Nix now has 9 home runs on the year after going 2 for 5 in last night's game. 9 homers and 7 doubles. Because of the weapons a guy like Hernandez possesses, do you as a hitter look to find the first fastball early in the count?
I would.
You don't want to be patient with a guy like this necessarily, do you?
I mean, you're looking for a ball that you can handle. I think a ball you think you can hit hard, and then you do it early. Now, if he wants to start you off with a breaking ball, I wouldn't want to swing at it. And then if it's a strike, you at least get a look at it. You know, because he may come back to it when you get 2 strikes. This guy, he has such good stuff that when he gets ahead of you, that's why he has so many strikeouts. You know, when you get up early, and this guy, he has 5 complete games. He will complete games when you do that. If you can't center on the ball or get base hits, he's only given up 157 hits in his 183 innings, or 184 innings. So not many people are getting hits off him. It's just that when you have opportunities, you have to take advantage of them. You have to get that key hit, or if you walk somebody. And that's true with any of your good pitchers. You have to maximize all your situations you get, because you're not going to string together 4 and 5 hits in an inning. Matter of fact, with him, after an 0-2 count, hitters are hitting 160. But after a 2-0 count, it goes up to 329. So if you can get the count in your favor, you have a better chance.
Double your chances.
Yes, you do.
Trevor Crow waiting on deck for the Tribe here in inning number 2. Payoff pitch to Nix. Fastball down low. And the Indians have their first base runner, a 1-out walk here in this second inning.
Let's check out the Mariners' defense presented by Huntington Bank. It's Saunders, Gutierrez, Ichiro in the outfield. Lopez, Woodward, Figgins, and Kochman on the infield. Moore is behind the plate.
Trevor Crow for 4 in the series. Goes after the first pitch and sends a high pop near the line in left. Saunders into foul ground. 2 down. Today's achievement of the game is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in us all. Since 2006, Felix Hernandez among the tops in baseball in a number of different categories.
Well, and he has a great home park to pitch in. It's just that offensively, he doesn't have a good team to play for, because they don't score him a lot of runs. And being that number 1 starter, he's going to match up against the best most of the time.
When Felix Hernandez was a youngster growing up in Venezuela, the one guy he really looked up to was Freddie Garcia.
That's why he wears number 34. When you look at him and the mannerisms on the mound, you can see.
Very similar. In fact, when he first signed with the Mariners, they called him Little Freddie. But Little Freddie wanted originally to be a basketball star. That was the game he loved. But he wasn't very big for his age, and his mom told him, you know, you might want to spend less time shooting hoops and more time working on your baseball.
And mom is always right.
But eventually he did start to grow.
And he said he started working on the weights, and by the time he was 15 years old, he was throwing in the low 90s. Think about that, 15 years old. That's freshman, sophomore in high school. Yeah. He's throwing mid-90s.
I know it. That's
so. And then because Venezuela is not part of the draft, it became a free agent bidding war, so to speak, for his services. He's walked 2 hitters here in the second inning. He had teams like the Yankees who were involved, and also the Atlanta Braves, the Colorado Rockies, and, of course, the Seattle Mariners. And it was interesting to read the quotes from Hernandez, who said, I ended up signing with the Mariners because they gave me the most attention. They came almost every day, watched all of my starts when I was a youngster, and he said they're good people. I don't like the Yankees. I never did. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the Yankees are too big. It's not the people, it's the team. Well, he has flourished as a Mariner. But he's walked a pair, and now a check swing bouncer will end the inning. 2 complete. No score. This moment. Be a few Millers consumed here this afternoon.
Turned out to be a beautiful day.
Plenty of sunshine. I don't think I've seen a cloud in the last couple of hours. Unlike when we got here.
Oh, boy, coming in. Yeah, it didn't look good, did it?
Chris Woodward looks at a first pitch strike. Swung on and missed. Chris Woodward getting the start today at shortstop for Seattle. Ooh, that looked like a pretty good pitch. Just got called up when Jack Wilson was put on the disabled list. Appearing in his first game this year with the Mariners. Fights it off.
Yeah, and he's going to get the tough right-hander. Go get him. You know, after the game that Bard had last night, I thought he would be back behind the plate catching, being a left-handed hitter or switch hitter. And they put Moore in there.
Well, it's like the old saying goes, you get 4 knocks in a game, that's pretty much a guarantee you'll be back in the lineup.
Well, that's your hot hand. I know I'd use it.
Ground ball to short. Cabrera takes care of Woodward, 1 down. But Josh Bard is no spring chicken anymore, and he said last night, he only needed the triple to hit for the cycle. He said that last time up, he said, if I'd have hit a triple, they might have had to put me on the DL. There is Bard.
Well, he knows it, but he had a good night offensively, 4 for 5 in the big grand slam.
On the heels of his daughter's 4th birthday, he said he was going to try to hit her a home run, and what do you know?
It was the big one, all right. Yes, he did.
Ichiro walked his first time up. Hard ground ball to short as Dribble Cabrera takes care of that.
Join the Chew Crew with the new combo pick. You get a reserve ticket in the right field lower bowl and a Chew Crew t-shirt for just $30. Chew Crew combos are on sale now. Stop by any Indians team shop or visit Indians.com.
Here is Sean Figgins, who walked his first time up. Justin Masterson walked the first 2 to start the game. No Mariner has reached since. His 40th pitch of the game coming up right here. A little bit inside. Looked like he was headed for disaster after walking the first 2 to start the game, but he struck out Russell Branyan. And they got Lopez and Gutierrez to get out of the first inning. And he's really turned it around quickly. I mean, you miss on 8 out of your first 9 pitches, and you have to wonder yourself, is this going to be one of those days? Fouled out of play.
Well, Justin has started 3 games against American League West teams this year. His record 0-3 and an ERA of 9.3. So he's given up 16 earned runs in 15 and a third innings coming into today.
In the air, left field. Trevor Crowe runs it down, and the Mariners go 1-2-3. And just like that, Justin Masterson has set down 9 straight. Michael Brantley and Asdrubal Cabrera will bat for the Tribe here. Against Felix Hernandez, who has walked a pair, struck out one through the first 2 frames. As you see Justin Masterson getting a nice cold ice towel. The 0-1. Straighten him up inside. Little tapper. Hernandez says, I'll take it. And that's out number 1. Here's our AT&T trivia question for today. AT&T Rethink Possible. 2 players in Indians' histories have hit 30 or more homers in a season while hitting 350 or higher. Can you name them? Boy. Big homers, big average. Michael Brantley 0 for 1. Showed bunt, pulled it back. The ball was in the dirt. Nothing like a little flavor ice on a hot summer day.
Oh, yeah. We'll go through a few of those today.
30th pitch of the day for Hernandez. Outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Bounced just wide of the bag at first. When Felix Hernandez was just 17 years old, he dominated the Northwest League for Seattle. He led the league in wins, ERA, and strikeouts for most of the summer. And quickly, he was named the number 1 prospect in the Mariners organization at 17.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know he's been around for quite some time, and he's still only 24 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
It's his 3rd walk issued, and Brantley's aboard with 1 out here in the 3rd.
Now, this is where you want, if you're Michael Brantley, he looks like, he's relatively slow to the plate, and you could take a chance of stealing. 9 of 14 base runners are, so if you can get a jump, take advantage of it.
I mentioned earlier about how he was compared to Dwight Gooden early in his career, and here's the reason why. Back in 2004, when he was just 18 years old, he turned in the most dominating season for a player of his age since Dwight Gooden was Baseball America's Minor League Player of the Year in 1983. He allowed more than 3 earned runs only 4 times in his 25 starts. And he was the youngest player in Class A and AA when he played that year. He was the youngest player in both leagues. Class A California,
I'm sure growing
AA
up,
Texas
he was
leagues.
always the youngest player, no matter where he was. The youngest player, but with the most talent.
The 0-1 pitch. Cabrera tapped that off his foot. So then at age 19, in August of 2005, he made his Major League debut in Detroit at Comerica Park. And at that time, he was the youngest pitcher to start his first Major League game since Britt Burns, who you faced.
Yeah, with the White Sox.
Late 70s with Chicago, yeah. Quick throw over, but Brantley back with a dive. Two-strike pitch, grounded foul. Well, you talked about the fact that he's still so very young, and yet he'll be pitching in a Mariners uniform for at least the next 5 years, unless they were to decide to for whatever reason, trade him. But he signed a 5-year contract before this season started.
You know, I mean, think about it when you say he's 24. We look at guys that look in our own organization that are in AA. They're young, but they're 24.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's got a 5-year deal at 24. You know, and I mean, he's been around and pitching in the big league level, and these kids are just trying to crack the big leagues. That's how good he is.
You know, think of a CC Sabathia who got here a lot quicker than most too. I
mean,
everybody,
he was 20.
Whether it's a maturity issue or whether it's just a physical maturity type situation, but everybody comes into their own at different stages.
You're gonna get the opportunity to come to the big leagues when you're younger because of your physical talent. You know, now whether you're mentally ready, that doesn't mean you're mentally ready, because a lot of times you don't have to pitch when you're younger and you have great stuff. You can just throw fastballs by everybody.
Kochman retires Cabrera for out number 2 as Brantley moves into scoring position. Well, speaking of the youngsters, let's go down on the farm and check out our Subway fresh face of the game. Lonnie Chisenhall, former number 1 pick. Last night against New Britain, 3 for 4. And on the year at AA, he's hit .270 with 15 home runs. Lonnie Chisenhall was the Indians' 2008 first-round pick. Last year in the draft, the Indians' number 1 pick was Alex White out of North Carolina. The pitcher's having a terrific season in the minor leagues. And their second-round pick was Jason Kipnis, the infielder who's tearing it up as well. Shin-Soo Choo fouls that back out of play. Choo struck out his first time up. Now down on the count 0-2. Indians with that runner at second base and 2 down. And, of course, Brantley has great speed. So, for Choo, all it would take would be a base hit. Very likely, good chance you can score Brantley. Unless it would be a one-hop smash to right. Ichiro still has a phenomenal arm. Scoreless here in the bottom of the third. Hernandez just over 40 pitches so far today. And the 0-2 didn't miss by much, but that count is 1 now, a ball and 2 strikes. Hey, the Indians this year have beaten some top-flight pitchers. They've beaten Mark Burley, Clay Buchholz, John Lester, John Lackey, CC Sabathia. The 1-2 pitch fouled back out of play. But the fact of the matter is they've also lost to some guys who you'd have to look them up.
Well, when you beat quality guys, you know, you're top of the end rotation guys, normally you're going to get a well-pitched game against them. You know, occasionally they may have a bad game. You know, we got Lester a couple of times and scored some runs on him. We could have beaten him twice this year.
Choo strikes out for the second time today, and the inning is over. Through 3, no score. Masterson got off to a rough start today, missing on 8 of his first 9 pitches out of the strike zone. Since then, he's thrown 22 strikes in his last 30. Russell Brandon was called out on strikes his first time up.
Yeah, this was the hitter that really jump-started Justin Masterson today, getting that strike zone. And he's been on target ever since.
Well, now he's falling behind 3-0. And he missed on 4 straight. Mariners get their leadoff man aboard here to start the 4th.
Well, it's time for Mezzanine Madness. You spend $50 or more at any Indians team shop or a merchandise concession stand and receive a voucher good for 2 Mez tickets to any Indians home game for the rest of the season.
Jose Lopez looks at ball 1 down low. This is like a repeat of the first inning. He's missed on his first 5 tosses. And it's 2-0 now to Jose Lopez. There's a called strike. Jose Lopez has hit in 6 straight games. And now the count goes to 3-1. He had a season high 13-game hitting streak from the middle to the end of June, during which time he hit .327. 3-1 delivery, and he fouls it off. Runs the count to full. Franklin Gutierrez waiting on deck. Another big pitch for Masterson right here. Runner goes. The 3-2 is hit to right field. Chu racing over near the line, makes the catch. And now the throwback to first base, a double play. Once Branyan took off, you knew as long as Chu caught the ball, that was going to be a double play with his arm.
Well, when you're off and running, a lot of times if he did not pick up that ball early, I want to see if he looks in. You see, he didn't realize where it was, and it was an easy play for Chu. He realized just catch it, and I'm going to be able to double him off. A lot of times when you're a base runner, if you don't see that ball, you just continue right on going. Because if he catches it, you're out anyway. And if it falls, you know you're going to be on third base. If it gets by him, you can score. But that's why when you take off and it's not a straight steal situation and you're a base runner, after that second step of breaking, you have to look in to see that hitter make contact. That'll give you an idea where the ball's going, and you can pick it up.
Gutierrez grounded out the third his first time up. Pushed him off the plate there, 2-1. Shin-Soo Choo now with his 10th assist on the year after throwing out Branyan, and he is now tied for first with Jose Bautista.
Bautista, yeah, we witnessed his arm this year. He's got a good one too, and he also plays third base.
Sometimes first. Back to the screen, Lou Marson. He's out of real estate by about 5-6 feet. In fact, in that 3-game series, I think we saw him in 3 different positions up in Toronto. I think he played right field, third base, and first base.
Yeah, he did in one game. He was at third, and then they pinch hit, and they moved him to first base as well.
Well, 2 down, and a 3-2 count here on Franklin Gutierrez. Masterson with a payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. He gets his 3rd strikeout. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, scoreless in Cleveland. Travis Hafner starts the bottom of the 4th here for the Indians. He grounded out to third base his first time up. 45 pitches thrown by Felix Hernandez so far today. 25 of those have been strikes. 10 out of his 13 first pitch efforts have also been for strikes, and now he has Hafner down on the count 0-2. The only oddity is that he's walked 3 today. And he nearly hit Hafner on the foot with that 0-2 pitch. Hernandez, not a guy who is prone to walk a lot of people.
No, in his last 3 starts, he's only walked, what, 1 in every start.
Yeah, and he only has 48 coming in on the year in 182 innings against 165 strikeouts. Swung on and missed, and that's 3 Ks for Hernandez here today, 1 down. Let's pause for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Happy to have you with us on this Sunday afternoon. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you here at Progressive Field. No score. Jason Nix walked his first time up. Cuts and misses at a good fastball. Happy birthday wishes going out today to Mary Sidebotham, who's celebrating her birthday. And also belated happy birthday wishes to Jennifer Albert, who works here at the ballpark. I wrote it down and misplaced it.
I don't believe that.
As usual. But she celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago on the 12th. So, Jennifer, hope you had a great birthday.
I think Tommy Bowe stole it from you.
There was no phone number on it, so I don't know why he would have done that. The 0-2 is swung on and missed. Nick strikes out, and Hernandez has now fanned 3 Indians in a row. And this is what we talked about earlier. If he gets into a groove, He's got the ability where he can really start to dominate any lineup.
Well, if you're looking for a unique and fun location to watch a ball game, why not book a suite right here at Progressive Field? Suites host groups from 10 to 60, and they offer a great view of the game along with premium food and beverage menus in a climate-controlled setting. Call 216-420-HITS for the full details.
Trevor Crowe fly to left in his first at-bat, takes the ball outside.
His last 8 pitches, 4 swings and misses for Hernandez. He's got that nasty little two-seamer that he was able to get Hafner to strike out on. That's a good pitch.
Fouled out of play, 1-1. Does the back turn make it any more difficult for a hitter?
I don't know if it does to pick up the baseball with his arm. It's not that he comes out. It's a matter of picking up the arm. I don't think the back turn should bother a hitter because you're looking in a slot where that arm is coming out of or where the hand or the ball is coming from.
It definitely helps him hide the ball a little bit.
Well, it should, and maybe not pick it up till a little bit later.
Here's a good angle when you watch Hernandez as he turns.
Just watch up in a corner box up above that shoulder.
He doesn't really show it to you, though, until the last minute.
It comes right up, just above the shoulder where you pick it up. And, when you're throwing it at mid-90s. And then he has also a breaking ball to go with that and a 90-mile-an-hour two-seamer. You got to make your mind up in a split second of whether you're going to swing or you're not.
You don't see much of that anymore, though.
It's tough to tell from here because we sit too high up. When you get down at that angle there, but it's even scarier when you're in that little white box. When you get up there and you have to pick it up, and that's what it's all about. The quicker you can see the ball, the quicker you can react.
But in this day and age it seems like pitchers' motions and deliveries have been pared down to the bare minimum.
So there's no
no big leg kick, no a lot of arm action. It's all minimalistic.
Less error, less room for error.
The Indians go 1-2-3, and through 4 innings, there is not a single hit in this game. Stop in and start a conversation and unlock your possibilities. And by Panini's, now open in Chagrin Falls, Solon, and Brunswick. Visit paninisgrill.com. There you go. Zeros across the board for both teams. As we go to the 5th inning, Casey Kochman trying to change that with one swing of the bat, and he'll drive it to center field for the first hit of this game. And he's into second base with a leadoff double. And the Mariners are in business now here to start the 5th. Of course, they had their first 2 on to start the game, but did not score.
There's a ball dead middle of the plate there. Masterson just throwing one to get ahead, and that movement stayed straight or flat. And he short hops the wall. For Kochman, that'll be his 14th double. Now they're going to have to try and move him over and get him in.
Adam Moore grounded to short his first time up.
Well, and I'll tell you one thing. When you have Hernandez on the mound, if I was managing, if I was Brown, I would say, let's get this run in. Right now, one's looking pretty good.
But do you take the chance of bunting at the bottom of the order to try to drive
No,
him in?
not necessarily. I don't mean bunting. You know, the guys are good enough. They're going to try and go that way. No, I'm not saying give up an out to try and get him in. Go ahead and take your shot and try and get him in. But as a hitter, you're taking it upon yourself to get him over. If you don't feel you can go to that right side of the field, then you bunt on your own. You don't need the manager to tell you that. And this is the part of the ball game where Seattle has done the damage in this series is in the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning. They've scored 10 runs in the middle part of the ball game.
You look at Darren Brown, who's the 2nd youngest active manager in baseball right now. The only manager younger than Darren Brown is sitting across the way in the other dugout. That's Manny Acta. Brown at 43, Manny Acta at 41. So you got the 2 youngest skippers in baseball head-to-head in this series. And, of course, Brown is just an interim manager. And Justin Masterson walks yet another. So the first 2 aboard for the Mariners here in the 5th.
Well,
that's
I'll tell you
the
what,
4th walk
now. You certainly would think about giving up an out.
Well,
Masterson, a ground ball pitcher,
struck out his first time up.
He's definitely looking to move him over here.
Chris Woodward, the number 9 hitter, waits on deck. Valbuena pinching in a little bit at third, looking for the bunt. Saunders squared, but pulled the bat back and took a strike.
Well, he was looking at, to me, it looked like to go to third base. And Masterson threw that pitch inside. That was a tougher pitch to try and bunt that way, so he pulls it back.
Pulls it back again. It's low. The 1-1. And again, he pulls it back. It's low again. 2 balls and a strike. This next toss will be number 70 for Masterson.
Well, they were trying to give you an out, so you know, if you're Masterson, let him bunt the ball. There you go.
Does. Back to the mound. Justice goes to third. They get the force there in plenty of time. That's why, and Rick was talking about it, that's why he wanted to bunt the ball to third base, to force the third baseman to have to come in and field it so that you can't get the force out at third. But instead, he bunted it back to the mound.
Well, and with Kochman running out at second base, you've got to put down a pretty good bunt. If you bunt it out to the pitcher, and Masterson on his PFP is average. He's been known to throw a ball away. But this one went out in front of the plate. He gets the lead runner. So it was a poor job on the sacrifice by Saunders.
And now Chris Woodward with runners at first and second and 1 out. They throw back, but Adam Moore, the catcher, back with a head first dive. Oh, good looking pitch, didn't get the call. 1-0. Chris Woodward played in 103 games at AAA Tacoma this year and didn't exactly tear it up, batting .232. But he's versatile. He played 75 games at short, 22 at second. Also appeared in a game at third and played 8 games in left field. Played in 20 games with the Mariners last year. Originally debuted in the big leagues with Toronto back in 1999. 2 balls and a strike. Masterson looking for that ground ball double play. Except he's fallen behind Woodward now, 3-1. And you got Ichiro Suzuki on deck.
"38 balls, 36 strikes today for Masterson."
This will be pitch number 75, and yet he's only allowed 1 hit. Back over the screen, full count.
What do you call that? Effectively wild?
To this point, yeah, I guess you would. You can use whatever euphemism you like until he.
Yeah, until you
get, until somebody makes you pay for it.
Well, eventually you keep putting guys on via the walk. That will come back and bite you. You've got the lead. You're turning that lineup over now for the 3rd time after this guy.
The 3-2. They walked him and they're loaded. 2 walks in the inning. Ichiro Suzuki will be the batter. He is 0 for 1 with a walk himself. And Suzuki 4 for 10 in the series. Very, very difficult to double up. He's only hit into 3 double plays all year. Doesn't get the call, and that also becomes a problem when you're not consistently in the strike zone. The fringe pitches tend to not go your way.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm not making excuses now, but it looks like it's a small strike zone. It's a hitter's strike zone today. There's been some pretty good pitches on the corners that both pitchers have made that just, they're called balls. And this may be Chad Fairchild's, strike zone. I'm not saying they're strikes, but, there's umps that have pitcher zones and hitter zones. And today it's a hitter's zone.
2-0 the count.
And I mean, all you can ask is an umpire to be consistent, and Fairchild has been that. That's not my point. The hitters will make adjustments, the pitchers make adjustments during the course of the game to any strike zone.
But if it's a small strike zone, that's a tougher adjustment for the pitcher
it is,
to make.
But they still have to make it.
Ripped to first. What a diving stop by Laporta for out number 2. Oh, Matt Laporta may have just saved the game for the moment. Because if that gets by him, they're still running. That ball was seriously scorched.
From up top at high home, you can see it. It looked like it was going to be a fair ball all the way. And you save at least 2 runs, possibly 3. Laporta diving to his left. Look at that. 1 step, get over there, and snag it. Very good play.
So now Tim Belcher is going to go out for a chat. You've got the switch hitting Sean Figgins coming up here. Fly to left his first time up. Hey, there's more Browns preseason football on Channel 3 coming up this Saturday. Join Jim Donovan and Bernie Kosar for all the action as St. Louis comes to town. Rams and the Browns, Saturday at 7:30 only on Channel 3, your official Cleveland Browns station. Jake Delhomme and company looked pretty good in the opener last night. You certainly hope everything's okay with Colt McCoy, who on his follow-through. Had his hand smack one of the offensive lineman's helmet, and he had to leave the game, but initial reports were that it was not serious. Bases loaded, 2 down. Figgins trying to drag bunt. Good bunt. Laporta, can he get him? Yes, he did. He tagged him on the hip, and the inning is over. Figgins is hopping mad. Here comes manager Darren Brown out to argue with Todd Titchener. Laporta with a terrific diving effort. Let's take one more look as we go to break. Hard to tell from there, but Titchener said he got him. And the inning is over. Mariners leave them loaded. We go to the bottom of the 5th. No score here in Cleveland. No score, bottom of the 5th, and Matt Laporta with a soft liner to short for out number 1. Boy, Matt Laporta with some terrific defensive glove work to get the Indians out of a potential mess in the top half of this inning. Seattle had him loaded, but this is the final play of the inning after he made the diving catch on the line drive.
Tough to tell there.
Figgins says, no way he touched me. On further review, he definitely got it. You can see the jersey
Looks
move.
like it got the jersey, but the jersey's moving while he's running.
No,
I mean, it was close enough. I think he was the right call.
Yeah.
I agree with the call.
Balbuena grounded out his first time up. Luis was up with 2 aboard and hit a check swing bouncer
The Indians
to third.
lost a game this year on a bunt like that, and it was from the Angels, and it was a second baseman that did it. And
Swung on and missed. 5 strikeouts for Hernandez. 2 down. Get back to that in a moment. Here's our 5-star league leaders brought to you by the GMC Sierra. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. Only Jared Weaver of those Angels has struck out more than Felix Hernandez this year, and John Lester came in tied with 165 when the day began. And, of course, Hernandez has 5 more to pump his total up to 170 now. Didn't we also have a deal? Was it here or was it down in Tampa with
Bartlett had a squeeze play. Jamie Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a liner down the right field line, and it's a fair ball. Indians have their first hit of the game. And Lou Marson will pull into second base with a 2-out double. It took both clubs until the 5th inning before they got their first hits.
Yeah, but the difference is it's a 2-out hit here where it's going to be tough to do anything. where Seattle had the leadoff double. Marson slices it that way. That little two-seamer, and it just catches the grass out there. Still have an opportunity now.
Well, I was going to say the leadoff double didn't work out that well for Seattle. Let's see if it's the two-out hit that propels the Tribe. It's been their weapon of choice all season long. Brantley a walk his last time up. Looks at ball one down low. Wide with it. 2-0, 65 pitches for Felix Hernandez. 39 have been strikes. After today's game, the Mariners move on to Baltimore. Second city on their 4-city road trip. Indians, meanwhile, will be off tomorrow. Open up a 3-game series at Kansas City Tuesday night. That'll be Genmar Gomez against Zach Greinke. We'll have it for you at 8 o'clock on Sports Time Ohio. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Evens it up. Royals have an early 1-0 lead over the Yankees in the second inning in Kansas City. Tigers and White Sox scoreless in the first. A roller to third. Lopez throws out Brantley. And we've played 5 innings with no score. The 20-ounce dry roasted peanuts, only $2.78 at any Northeast Ohio Mark's location.
So come into your nearest Mark's, where you'll find a huge selection at low prices every day.
Justin Masterson will start this 6th inning. He's thrown 80 pitches. 39 for strikes. 50% of his first pitches have been for strikes, and now that dips below. It took the Mariners 15 batters to get their first hit. Took the Indians 18 batters to get their first knock of the game. But that's been it so far. The Mariners have not been able to take advantage of 5 walks issued by Justin. Felix Hernandez, meanwhile, has walked 3 Cleveland Indians batters. A little bit high with that one. And it's 3-1.
This is the 8th 3-ball count for Masterson this afternoon.
Almost had him committing, but Brandon able to lay off. And the Mariners get their leadoff man aboard again. 4th time today they've had their leadoff man aboard. Our game recap is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Justin Masterson and Felix Hernandez have just matched zeros so far here today. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com.
Well, he tied a season high. Did Masterson in walks today with 6. Last time he did that June 4th against the White Sox in 5 2/3 innings. Right now he's at 5+. And you know what? He ended up winning that ball game.
Ripped foul. Might be a draw for that foul ball. Twins and A's are scoreless in the 2nd inning in Minneapolis. Minnesota Twins begin the day with a 2-game lead over the White Sox in the AL Central. Twins have won 3 straight. And believe it or not, that 3-game winning streak by Minnesota is currently the longest win streak in all of baseball. There's a high drive, deep left field. Crow is back, now coming in to make the catch. And back to first base goes Brandon, 1 away. Let's go back to the studios for an in-game update. Dave Chudowski has the latest on that Royals-Yankees matchup.
All right, Matt, thanks a lot. Yes, I do. The Royals strike first, bottom of 1. Here's Billy Butler going the other way. That is an RBI single. And right now, in the 2nd inning, it is the Royals 1-0 over the Yankees. Back to you.
Must be the powder blues. Your favorite uniform,
No,
Tom.
don't like those colors. Do not like them.
Maybe we'll see them. Although I don't know.
Middle of the week we won't. They're Sunday.
Yeah.
They're Sunday uni.
Maybe just for you.
I'm going to recommend that.
Maybe Swanee, just for you, will break them out. Put in a word down below. 1 on, 1 out for Seattle here in the 6th inning. And no score. Tony Sipp up throwing in the Tribe bullpen. Gutierrez 2 for 11 in the series. Pop back out of play, and despite only having 2 hits in 11 at-bats in the series, he has 12 hits in his last 42 at-bats overall, going over his last 11 games plus what he's done here today. The 1-1. I guess one thing that might be difficult if you're a hitter, Rick, is when you have a guy like Masterson, the way he's pitching today, you want to be patient, but you don't know what to look for, I suppose, either.
Yeah, well, that's why I say effectively wild. One time it's, it's tough to cut the plate in half and sit on anything with the way it's going. Because I don't think half the time he knows where it's going.
I mean, Casey Kochman got a pitch early in the count that was kind of flat and over the middle of the plate, and he hammered it. But other than that, his ball, as you said, has so much movement on it. Hard for the hitter to get a gauge on what to sit on.
Okay, I'm going to sit on this pitch in, or I'm going to sit away. And next thing you know, he knocks you out of your toe hold. And yeah. And the thing of it is, when you do get a pitch, you're fouling it off, because of the movement on it. They're not squaring it up.
One on, one out for Gutierrez. Infield double play depth, looking to turn 2 if he bangs one on the ground, but it's back over the screen. Masterson fires, and he missed outside. Full count. Gutierrez coming into today, 13 career hits against the Tribe and 48 at-bats. Maniac has to be a little frustrated, just as I'm sure Masterson is too. Just can't seem to
as you mentioned,
repeat it.
He hasn't been hurt to this point.
And there's a sky-high pop. This will get him another out here. Cabrera comes dashing in onto the grass to grab it 2 down. Casey Kochman, 1 for 2 with a double. Now Kochman had the best bolt of this game for Seattle. He drilled one to deep center, short hopped the wall with the ball. It was hit over Michael Brantley's head. And he was ripping early in the count, fouled it back. Right now, this is one of those outings for Justin Masterson that falls under the category of they don't give style points. And so far, he's put up zeros.
Well, he's getting away with it with a bad offense, against a bad offense. Seattle can't take advantage of it. They're last in the league in batting average, last in runs scored. They're a team that it's easy to pitch to. So out of his 6 walks, he's been able to dodge the bullet. The one hit was a leadoff double last inning by Kochman, who the hitter is right now.
His 20th pitch of the inning, his 100th pitch of the game. And this should get him out of the inning. Michael Brantley has it. And Justin Masterson has somehow bobbed and weaved his way through 6 scoreless innings. No score. Bottom of the 6th inning. Justin Masterson looks like his day is probably over at 100 pitches. As Dribble Cabrera, 0 for 2, leads off against Felix Hernandez. Cabrera, Chu, Hafner due up here. Combined 0 for 6 today. Nothing in 2 the count. 70 pitches now on the afternoon for Felix Hernandez. And Cabrera strikes out looking. That's a half dozen Ks for Hernandez.
That's exactly what he throws, is a dart to the outside corner. There's a 4-seamer. Now, he's been throwing a lot of 2-seamers out there, Matt. He's got Cabrera 0-2, and I'm going to tell you what, dots the eye right on the outside corner. Just shaves it at 96. Thanks for coming. Have a nice day.
Shin-Soo Choo looked at a bunt, but fouled it into the catcher, Adam Moore. Choo's had a tough day. He struck out twice, and you don't see that very often from him.
Well, that's what you want. You don't want Choo bunting. That one jumps up and looks like it bites him on the neck. I mean, I know Choo has had a rough day to this point, but he's one of the few guys. I mean, if you got one, you may want to try and run into one here. Maybe your only opportunity to score against this guy.
One ball and 1 strike to count here on Choo. Hernandez delivers. And it's right back. Boy, he had a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Pretty good cut by Choo. But again, very, very difficult to square that thing up. '75th pitch of the day. And a smack ball into center field by Choo. And a 1-out base runner now for Travis Hafner.
It's like Choo gets a fastball down, and he went right at it. He's likes that 97-mile-an-hour fastball right now, but Choo was able to get down and hit it into center field. Just the second hit of the day for the Indians.
Travis Hafner in his first game since coming off the DL has grounded out and struck out. There's a foul ball deep down the left side. Off the Terrace Club restaurant windows. Travis looked like he missed a couple of buttons.
Yeah.
Adam Moore, the catcher, out to talk with Hernandez. Tampa Bay on top of Baltimore 3-1. They're in the 4th at Tropicana Field. White Sox Tigers still scoreless in the 3rd. Royals still lead the Yankees 1-0, and Minnesota and the A's scoreless in the 2nd. Chase the high fastball 0-2.
Today for Hernandez, and we'll show you how effective he's been. 11 counts of 0-2, 1-2 today. And that's when the strikeouts come, when you're able to do that.
Oh, he shot for the outside corner.
Wow.
It was close.
Well, like we were talking today. There's a pitch that looks like a strike, and maybe Hernandez thinks so, but you don't get it called, and that's where, as a hitter, well, you're pretty lucky. That's what we call it, the hitter's zone today on an 0-2 pitch, an excellent pitch.
That's down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With 1 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. A scoreless tie to this point. This next pitch will be number 80 on the day for Hernandez. And he struck him out. 7 Ks for Felix Hernandez. 2 down in the 6th inning.
This guy, when he gets ahead, he has so many ways to go at you. There's the 2-seamer I was talking about that he's been throwing so effectively to left-handers today. And then to start this inning, he threw the 4-seamer in 96 to Cabrera that he took. So, and not only that, he has that curveball he can go after you when you get to 2 strikes. There's a lot of different weapons, and that's how you strike guys out. That's 7 on the afternoon now for Felix Hernandez.
80 pitches, 51 strikes thrown. Popped him up on the first pitch.
He doesn't see it. Kochman doesn't see it.
The catcher Moore does. He's got it. The inning is over. 6 complete. No score in Cleveland.
Think possible. By the Sierra from GMC. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. And by Wendy's. You know when it's real. Wendy's.
Well, jet skiing on Lake Erie today.
That looks like fun, doesn't it?
Nothing wrong with that.
No siree.
Looks a little bit like Doc out there with his hat on.
Well, he might have been. Doc might have been out there in the duck blind,
but no camouflage.
He's got the camouflage Speedos on.
Get the camouflage ski-doo. This pitching change brought to you by H.H. Gregg, Tony Sipp, on a relief of Justin Masterson, who went 6 innings today. Walked 6, struck out 3, allowed 1 hit, and pitched scoreless baseball. And that's where we are. No score, 7th inning. Adam Moore, Michael Saunders, Chris Woodward due up for Seattle. Remember, we talked about it in the open. Justin Masterson has really pitched well against Seattle. For whatever reason, he has owned the M's. A 1.56 ERA coming in. There's a smash to center. Back goes Brantley. Still going back. Makes the catch about a stride and a half in front of the fence. And Adam Moore can only turn and walk back to the dugout. One away, and now the answer to our AT&T trivia question. AT&T, rethink possible. 30 bombs, hit 350.
That's got to go back a ways.
Larry Doby, did he do it?
No, 350, man. That's Albert and Manny. Oh, I forgot about Manny.
Yeah, that was like during wiffle ball baseball numbers they were putting up. All right, here's Michael Saunders 0 for 2. Pops it straight up in the air. Tony Sipp, 2 down.
Well, save on your seats and triple your eats with the new AM/PM all-you-can-eat seat 3-packs. Choose 3 games. Enjoy unlimited dogs, peanuts, popcorn, nachos, and Pepsi products throughout the game. 3-packs are just $75, so call 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com.
Chris Woodward walked his last time up. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to short back in the 3rd inning. Quickly, 0-2 the count. Justin Masterson winds up with 6 shutout innings today. But the Mariners definitely had some opportunities thanks to the walks. But they were 0 for 10 with a runner on base today against him. 1-2 delivery. Popped in the air. That's going to get into the seats.
Well, I think we knew going into the game when you're matched up against like a guy like Hernandez, you cannot afford to give anything up. I said they're going to have to match zeros, you know, until that offense can find a way to scrap and put one on the board. And to this point, nobody's been able to do that yet. There's only 3 hits in the game. The Indians have 2 of them.
Just a little bit too far outside. 2-2. Sipp with the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Mariners go 1-2-3. Stretch time in Cleveland. No score. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Progressive Field. No score between the Indians and the Mariners. Panini's home of the overstuffed sandwich with 3 locations. Open in Chagrin Falls, Solon, and Brunswick. Coming soon to Twinsburg. Log on to paninisgrill.com for a list of all their locations. Trevor Crowe, Matt Laporta, Luis Valbuena to face Felix Hernandez. Here in the bottom of the 7th, he has fanned 7 on the day. Trevor Crowe pops it back out of play. Hernandez with the 0-1. And missed badly with that pitch. Right back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Trevor Crowe. He has fouled out to left, and he has grounded out to first so far today. The 1-2 pitch. The way this game has gone today, it kind of has taken the same form of another game back on this date in 1916 at Fenway Park. Red Sox pitcher Babe Ruth beats Walter Johnson in 13 innings, 1-0.
Is that right? Well,
Crowe with a high pop. Center fielder Franklin Gutierrez in. 1 away. Here's our Miller Taste Greatness moment. Indians Mariners with the first ever game in this ballpark. And it's Wayne Kirby lacing it down into the left field corner. Eddie Murray comes home. And the Tribe starts the new ballpark era off in grand fashion.
Yeah, did they ever. That ball game was started by Randy Johnson. Had a no-hitter through 7 innings.
Laporta swing and a miss.
Wasn't it Clinton that threw out the first pitch here?
Mm-hmm. Here's the 0-1 and a broken bat bouncer to short. Woodward throws out Laporta 2 down. Let's pause once again for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you today here at Progressive Field. Glad you could be with us. No score. Bottom of the 7th, Luis Valbuena, hard ground ball, kicks off the chest of Sean Figgins. His throw pulls Kochman off the bag. Kochman arguing with first base umpire Todd Titchener that he was able to stay on the bag. To no avail, it's going to bring out Darren Brown to pick up the argument. Kochman is an excellent fielding first baseman, one of the best in the business. And I didn't see Titchener signal that he was off the bag, but that had to be what his decision-making was based on, I think.
Well, when Figgins doesn't field it cleanly, you know it's going to be close. And he stretches. Valbuena looked like he hit the back of the bag. His toe is on the bag as we speak. Right now. Yeah, it's close. It's awful. I can't tell from that. It's awfully close. He felt he stayed on it. Whether a spike was there or not, I don't know. It'll go as an error.
And the Indians have a 2-out base runner now for Lou Marson. Lou doubled into the right field corner. for the first hit of the game for the Tribe back in the bottom of the 5th.
This guy's got 20 out of 26 first pitch strikes.
And he takes some strike right there. Now the 2-strike offering. Did he go? He did not. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Remember recently we had Max Alvis up here in the booth?
Yes.
Remember I asked him about hitting a pinch hit home run in the same game that Leon Wagner also hit a pinch hit home run?
Yes, and he didn't remember.
He did not remember. This is the date of that game in 1965.
Oh, August 15th?
Yeah.
Well, you better shoot Max a text and let him know that.
Well, Max, just on the off chance you're watching, it was a nightcap of a Cleveland Stadium doubleheader. Max Alvis, a 2-run homer in the 9th to tie it. 2 innings later, Leon Wagner, a 2-run homer to win it as a pinch hitter. And those 2 pinch hit home runs in 1 game, tying a major league record.
Well, the Indians may need one of those today to win it.
This may end up being one of those games where something odd happens to get a run home. A little bit too high, full count. Michael Brantley, 0 for 2. He walked earlier in the game. He's on deck. If Marson can keep the inning alive here. '95th pitch of the afternoon already for Hernandez. Runner goes, payoff pitch, bouncy ball in the hole. Valbuena will turn and burn. He'll go to third. Indians at the corners with 2 down now.
Well, Lou Marson did a good job. After being down in the count 0-2, able to find a hole on the full count. He has 2 of the 3 hits, and you don't try and do much. He elevated the fastball, and he just slaps it the other way. Nicely done. Well, there's 1 hit with 2 outs. It's going to take possibly 1 more to get the Indians on the board here in the 7th.
Michael Brantley 0 for 2 with a walk. Will step to the dish. Throws a BB for strike 1 at 96 miles an hour. Valbuena, the runner at third base. Marson down at first. 2 gone here, last of the 7th. A little late, almost picked off Cabrera in the on-deck circle.
Cabrera is absolutely lucky he got out of the way and didn't get drilled. He's trying to make eye contact with Brantley, saying, hey, give me a break.
Pitch number 98 for Hernandez. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander ready in the pitch. High, 2 balls and 2 strikes. On this date in 1975, Rick, Earl Weaver of the Orioles is ejected twice by umpire Ron Luciano. threw him out in the first game of a doubleheader and then tossed him again right at the start of the second.
Yeah, when they were changing lineup cards.
The 2-2. Line drive base hit into center field. That'll get a run home. Valbuena scores the first run of the game. 1-0 Cleveland here in the 7th. And it comes on back-to-back 2-out hits after the error by Sean Figgins allowed this inning to continue.
Well, a good job by Michael Brantley to get a pitch to hit. And it is. It's one down the middle. That's one of his worst pitches today at 91. You know, he had him down 0-2, but there it is. He tried to two-seamer it. Got middle of the plate, so Brantley takes advantage of it. They take advantage of the extra out in this inning on the error, and the Indians will take a 1-0 lead.
Carl Willis out to talk with Felix Hernandez. Not much he can do other than to tell him, hey, keep your head up. I mean, by rights, Hernandez is probably upset because he should be sitting in the dugout. But you have to tip your cap in the Tribe's direction because after the error, Lou Marson hit a ball in the hole, and Brantley hit a pitch right back up the middle. 2, no doubt about it, solid base hits for the Tribe as they get on the board first here today. And now as Drupal Cabrera 0 for 3, they'll step to the plate. And this has been a problem for Felix Hernandez all season long. When he pitches, the Mariners just don't score a lot to begin with, understandably so. But when he pitches, it seems like they don't score at all.
Well, in his 9 losses this year, they have combined to score a total of 9 runs.
Now Cabrera gaps it to right center. Another run scores. Marson touches home. Brantley into third. Cabrera with a 2-out RBI double. 3 straight 2-out knocks for the Indians.
He's starting to become, get that ball middle of the plate, and the Indians hitter starting to take advantage of it. He was living on the edges all day long. And boy, the extra out has certainly given the Indians a second wind. 3 straight 2-out base hits. They're going to walk Chu intentionally, and they'll go after Hafner.
Well, in a game that has featured offenses struggling, the Indians break through, albeit with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. And that has been their calling card all season long, so it really should be no surprise to us here today. The surprise is that it's happened against a guy of the stature of Hernandez, who came in with the 4th best ERA in the league at 2.71. And, of course, these will be unearned runs.
Yes, indeed. Yes, they will. But, well, this will be his last 2. You got to give him a chance to get out of this inning. He's had opportunities, hasn't been able to do it.
Travis Hafner, 0 for 3 in his return to the lineup. Goes after that pitch and fouls it away. .44% of the Indians' runs scored this year have come with 2 outs. Base is loaded, 2 down. Hafner awaiting the 0-1 pitch. And it's high and bouncing off the glove of Moore, but not far enough for anyone to move. Brantley, the runner, at third. Cabrera at second. Chu at first.
Boy, you talk about making a pitcher work. 19 pitches since the error. You know, where they should be inside. So he has had to work. This will be his last hitter one way or another.
And he's falling behind Pronk 2-1. The error by Figgins allowed this inning to continue. Now, with respect to the Mariners' point of view on that play, they thought they still had the out. It was very close play. The question was his toe on the bag or did he simply beat it out? It was very close at first base. But because of the hustle by Valbuena, the inning stayed alive and the error was charged to Figgins. There's a drive. Deep center field. Gutierrez racing back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Travis Hafner returns to the lineup with a grand slam here in the 7th. It's a 6-run explosion for the Tribe, and they lead it by a half dozen. And that is all she wrote for Felix Hernandez.
Well, you fall behind, and he was hitting middle of the plate in this inning. And he could not finish this inning. Travis Hafner ends it right there with a grand slam. And the Indians have 6 on the board in the 7th.
Hafner and the Indians break out in a big way. They send Hernandez to the showers. They lead it 6-0. It's now a 6-0 Indians lead. After this was a scoreless game in the bottom of the 7th inning, there were 2 outs, nobody on base, and then whoopsie. Close play at first. Valbuena able to beat it out. And then Lou Marson singles through the hole, sending Valbuena to third.
He was down in the count.
Brantley gets the Indians on the board.
He was down in the count as well, and I'll tell you what, they just kept on piling on. He made a few mistakes, stayed middle of the plate, and this one was going to get him right there. Pitch up, out over the plate, and Hafner hits it into the bullpen for his 11th grand slam in a 6-run inning.
The 11th career grand slam for Pronk. His first homer since July 26th. And the Indians have batted around here in the 7th inning. And all of this with 2 outs. So
yes,
that's
indeed.
been their calling card all season long. Hernandez made 29 pitches after the error was charged to Sean Figgins and could not get out of the inning. And, of course, because of the error, all the runs are unearned for Felix Hernandez. So how's that for irony? You go out, you pitch 6 2/3 innings, you give up 6 runs, and your earned run average
goes down.
Yeah.
That's been the story of his season all year anyway. They still haven't scored when he's been in the ball game. He's looking to get his 10th loss today.
Nix nails the umpire with that foul tip right on the tootsie toe of Chad Fairchild.
The tootsie toe. What is that? Kerry told you to say that, didn't he?
Here's the tootsie toe right here.
It was a late swing, and it went right down and got him. That's exactly right.
You never call your little toe your tootsie toe?
No.
Well,
I didn't.
It's a Niagara Falls thing, apparently.
No, it's an Ashland thing, apparently.
I don't think right now Chad Fairchild's saying we might just cut it off because I can't feel it anymore anyway.
He might be right.
Meanwhile, the veteran crew chief, Mike Riley, down at third, saying, come on, I've taken 500 of those in my career.
Well, he has. He's a true veteran right there.
He's among the top 10 in all-time games umpired.
Well, he's a good umpire.
Well over 4,000 in his career. And if he hangs around another 8 years, he might catch Bruce Fremming.
Well, the question is, does he want to hang around for another 8 years?
This is, I believe, Mike's 33rd year in Major League umpiring, so I wouldn't think he's going to stick around another 8 years.
Well, he still looks like he's in great shape.
Bruce Fremming and Bill Clem have the most years all-time, 37 seasons. And they're also 1 and 2 in all-time games. Clem umpired 5,300 plus. And Bruce Fremming, who retired after 5,162 games. Doug Harvey, who just went into the Hall of Fame, was 4th on the all-time games umpired list. 2-2 delivery to Nix. And that's outside full count. Jason, the 9th man to bat in the inning for the Indians. Tigers on top of the White Sox 3-1. They're in the 4th inning in Chicago. Minnesota still leads Oakland 1-0. They're in the 4th in the Twin Cities. Travis Hafner just activated from the disabled list today. The Indians sending Jordan Brown back to AAA Columbus. And Hafner was 0 for his first 3 with a couple of strikeouts before he crunched the grand slam that knocked Felix Hernandez out of the game and capped this 6-run 7th inning. Although it's not over yet as Nix fouls it away and stays alive. Manny Ramirez hit 13 grand slams as an Indian. And Hafner now just 2 behind him. I remember looking at the all-time slam list, and Manny's
23. Manny's down at 21, I believe.
Lou Gehrig's got 23 to lead the way.
Yes.
And A-Rod's right behind him.
Yes.
There's another drive. Deep left field. This inning isn't capped yet. Jason Nix with a long drive. His 10th home run of the year. Back-to-back homers for the Indians. And it's now a 7-run 7th for the Tribe.
Nick's a good fastball hitter, gets one to his liking, and he hits it again. There it is. Back-to-back days he's hit home runs.
It was an 11-pitch at bat, and I think maybe Sean White just said, well, let's try fastball.
Well, he tried it to the wrong guy.
Second time this year. The Indians have gone back-to-back with homers, and Trevor Crowe keeps the inning going with a base hit into right field. Sixth hit in the inning for the Indians. A strike called in the inside corner to Matt Laporta, who is 0 for 2. I've got a real good statistical oddity for you coming up when the Indians take the field in the 8th inning, courtesy of your guy, John Krepop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He texted you, huh?
Oh, he's got to be. Where he comes up with this stuff.
Well, he doesn't leave on homestands. He stays right there in his seat.
Just tapping away on his
Yes,
computer.
he is. He's just logging things in. And
Laporta with a bouncing ball to third. Lopez goes to second for the inning-ending force. What a turnaround for the Tribe. A 7-run seventh. Hafner with a grand slam. Nix with a solo shot, and the Indians in front 7-zip. Well, it's now a 7-zip Indians lead. He's got the Mohawk do working. That's going to play well when he goes back to school. Go to the 8th inning. And Rafael Perez coming on now to work for the Tribe. He'll face the top of the order here for Seattle.
well, now you get your guys work that you wanted to get in with an off day coming tomorrow. So Perez appearing for his 52nd time this year. Tony Sipp will be the pitcher of record for the Indians.
Yes, he will. Ichiro 0 for 2 today. Ichiro is involved in what I think is really the biggest turning point of this game prior to that offensive outburst for the Tribe. They had bases loaded and 1 out. And Ichiro lined the ball down the first baseline, and Matt Laporta made a terrific diving catch to snare the liner. And then he followed that up with a terrific play to field a ground ball and tag out Sean Figgins to end the inning. But here are the back-to-back plays. That was the first one. And then this was the second one. Just does graze the jersey. And that ended the inning and kept the Mariners off the board. And a routine ground ball to second base. One down. Dave Chudowski has this in-game update from Chicago.
Yeah, Matt, you mentioned the score just moments ago. Tigers 3-1 over the White Sox. Here is how it got to that point. Ryan Rayburn with a solo homer in the fourth off Freddie Garcia, and that's the score right now in the fourth, 3-1. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Dave. Interesting because Rick Garcia has been one of the better White Sox pitchers, especially early in the year. He was one of the guys who I don't think anybody was really counting on to pace their pitching staff, but he's definitely been a big factor for them. Meanwhile, this game here today, Justin Masterson went 6 innings, gave up 1 hit, did not allow a run, while he did walk 6 batters. The last time an Indians starting pitcher pitched 6 scoreless innings, allowed only 1 hit and walked 6, was Rick Waits, April 7th, 1979, and he beat Boston 3-0. That according to John Kripoff, who also adds that you did not play in that ballgame.
He's on top of it, is he?
I don't know why he felt compelled to add that last little line. I think that's a shot at you that you did not play.
Well, I think he did, but Tommy said I was benched. I was I was sent to the corner and had to sit down.
Swing and a foul tip held on by Marson. 2 down. Well, we head back to the Motor City next Sunday right here on Channel 3. Join us as the Tribe takes on their division rivals from Detroit, Indians Tigers. It's next Sunday at 1 o'clock right here on Channel 3. I don't know about you, but it seems like we haven't played Detroit in a long time.
Well, right after the All-Star break, from what I remember, we beat them 4 straight here, didn't we? Got them started off on the wrong foot in the second half.
And that was prior to all the injuries.
Well, right after they left her is when it all happened.
Mm-hmm. They lost Inge,
but
Guillen,
they
and
didn't
Ordonez.
they did not look very good here after the break. You remember Leland says, I'll take it's my fault because my team wasn't ready or whatever. They didn't look good.
And it had been quite some time since the Indians had swept them 4 games here in Cleveland. But they started the day 56-60, the Tigers. Russell Brandon looks at the ball. It's 3-0. Well, a walk to Russell Brandon with 2 outs here in the 8th keeps the inning alive for Jose Lopez.
Progressive Field offers a one-of-a-kind venue for your next company picnic. Groups of all sizes can choose from a variety of food and beverage options. Just call 216-420-HITS for the information.
And a strike is called to Jose Lopez, 0 for 3 on the afternoon. fact, Lopez lined into a double play in the fourth inning when he had a fly ball to right field that Chu caught. And Russell Brandon was running on the play. And before Brandon could hit the brakes and turn around and get back to the bag, Chu was able to throw him out at first.
The Mariners today, just the one hit. That was a fifth inning leadoff double off the bat of Casey Kochman. And, you know, that's the opportunity they had that inning to score. We showed you the plays by Laporta. That has basically been it for their opportunities.
Right field again. Chu racing back. It's over his head. Hits the fence. And Lopez had to put on the brakes and scamper back to first. How about that? He hits it off the fence in right field, and Chu holds him to a single. On to third goes Brandon with 2 down.
Well, he gave this ball a ride. There was a pitch up that he stayed on and drove, and you see it hits the chain link fence out there in front of the bullpen, and he's got to put the brakes on.
He's not fleet of foot. We've got a timeout here at Progressive Field. Manny Act is going to make a pitching change. With 2 on and 2 out, we'll be right back. Seven zip Indians on top of the Mariners. Seattle has 2 on, 2 out. Batting here in the 8th inning. Franklin Gutierrez will be the hitter, and right-hander Joe Smith coming on now for the Tribe. And a first pitch strike to Franklin Gutierrez. He has grounded out, struck out, and popped up on the infield today. One and one the count here for Gutierrez. Indians with a 7-0 advantage. A little bit low. Russell Brandon at third. Lopez, who hit the ball off the fence in right field, is at first. Chopped off the plate. Foul up the third base side. Indians looking for their 49th win of the season here this afternoon. Two-two pitch, a little bit high, and the count goes full. The runner at first, Lopez, will break for second on this 3-2 pitch to Gutierrez. And it's chopped foul outside of the bag at third. Brilliant blue sunshine, no clouds all day long here in downtown Cleveland. It's just been spectacular.
A little off day tomorrow before they hit the road for 6.
Kansas City, then
back
Detroit.
into the division before we come back home next week.
And the payoff pitch. Nope, a step off for Smith. Now the payoff pitch. And a ground ball to short. Diving stop by Cabrera. From his knees. Not in time. Whoa, what an effort by his Drupal. Almost a spectacular play to throw out his former teammate. But Gutierrez able to leg out an infield RBI single to get the Mariners on the board.
Well, he wasn't going to get Lopez at second base because he's off and running on the full count on 3-2. So what happens, Gutierrez end up letting up. He almost got him at first base. It was a terrific catch. Now he looked to second and realized he wasn't going to get anybody there because they're off and running. He throws to first. Gutierrez just did beat it.
And now Casey Kochman 1 out of 3 with a double. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. That run charged to Rafael Perez. And it's the only run of the game for Seattle. 2-strike pitch. Blistered foul. Casey's dad, longtime scout with the Angels, signed not only his son, but he also signed Sean Figgins once upon a time for the Angels. And a host of others. Now the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. The inning is over. Seattle gets on the board. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 7-1 Cleveland. 7-1 Indians on top as we go now to the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Seattle Mariners will once again go back to their bullpen. Left-hander Chris Seddon come on now. Ryan Langerhans coming on to play in right field now for Seattle, the one-time Atlanta Braves product. For the Tribe, Luis Valbuena, Lou Marson, and Michael Brantley. Valbuena looks at the ball down low. Mentioned earlier, on this date in 1965 was when Max Alvis and Leon Wagner tied a major league record with 2 pinch hit home runs in the same game. On this date in 1962, it also happened for the amazing New York Mets. Choo-Choo Coleman and Jim Hickman tied that record. They each hit pinch hit home runs as teammates, but the Mets still lost the game 8-7 to Philadelphia. It reminded me, though, of a story I once read recently about Ralph Kiner. Remember we were talking about Ralph Kiner the other night?
Yes.
Well, in his broadcasting career, he once interviewed Choo-Choo Coleman after a ball game. And he said, Choo-Choo, what's your wife's name and what's she like? And Choo-Choo responded, Mrs. Coleman, and she likes me, bub.
That was a post-game interview?
Yeah.
Bub.
Oh, man.
Choo-Choo took that a little personally,
I guess he
did.
I don't think he was one to be real flowery.
It doesn't sound
in his
like
interviews, because there was another story where Kiner once asked him how you got the nickname Choo-Choo, Clarence, and he said, I don't know, Ralph. So he didn't go to media sensitivity training school. Swing and a miss by Valbuena. And a strikeout to start the bottom of the 8th for Chris Seddon. Now to bring up Lou Marson. Boy, he had a big day today. He doubled with 2 outs in the 5th inning. That was the Indians' first hit of the ball game. And then in that key 7th inning with 2 outs, right after Valbuena had reached on the error, Marson singled to keep that inning alive, and really you could just sense the momentum starting to gather. And then Michael Brantley delivered the first RBI hit of the game for the Tribe, and what started the avalanche of runs.
Yes, and just took off from there.
Hey, Saturday at 7:30, the Browns host the St. Louis Rams at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Tickets start as low as $35. You can call 440-824-3434 or visit clevelandbrowns.com for more information. Browns and the Rams is coming Saturday downtown live. Ground ball in the hole, and Lou Marson with a 3-hit ball game. 2 singles and a double for the Indians backstop.
Well, he's able to get a pitch that's out over the plate. It's actually outside, but it's up, and he's able to get the bat head out in front and pull it. I don't know if that was a changeup that he left up in the strike zone, but he was able to pull it into the hole between short and third. 9 hits now for the Tribe, 3 for Lou Marson.
Second time this year, Marson's had a 3-hit ball game. He also did it in New York against the Yankees back on May 29th. And now Michael Brantley, who had that big 2-out RBI hit that opened the floodgates in the 7th. Fouling out a play by Brantley. Remember the other night, Ichiro struck out 3 consecutive times in the game.
Yeah.
We said, well, it probably doesn't happen very
Rarity.
often. How about on this day in 1970, Pete Rose, who was the defending National League batting champ at that time, went 0 for 7 in a game against the Phillies and punched out 5 straight times in that game.
Wow. Holy smokes. You would never think.
14,000, just under 15,000 in attendance here today. I think some of them have already headed for the exits, though. 7-1 try, bottom of the 8th inning.
I want to get home and fire up that barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, summer's fading fast. There aren't many opportunities left, are there?
No.
Kids will be going back to school here in the next couple of weeks. And the days start getting shorter. There's a drive deep to right field. Michael Brantley has left the yard. His 3rd home run of the year, his 2nd hit of the ball game. And the Indians tack on 2 more here in the 8th inning. They now lead it 9-1.
Third home run of the afternoon for the Tribe. And, you know, you get up there, you relax a little bit. It's this game's out of control right here, but you get the 83-mile-an-hour fastball in there, and he's able to pull his hands through. And he gets a good view of it getting into the first row. Home run number 3 for Brantley. That makes it a 9-1 ball game.
Well, and for Michael Brantley, Rick, that means he is now 12 for 36 since he was called back to the big leagues on August the 6th. That covers his last 9 games now. So he's on a pretty good little tear here.
Yes, he is.
Obviously feeling pretty good at the plate.
Well, that big hit in the 7th inning, that 2-out RBI single to get him on the board was the one that really jump-started it.
That's a game changer, you know. And as Drupal Cabrera dumps his 2nd hit of the day into right field.
You know, you're going to look at the score and read about this in the paper and not realize that this is a scoreless game going into the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. And there was only 3 hits in the ball game at that time. You know, and then that big 7, the error is what actually turned this whole thing around. Kept the inning going. The Indians took advantage of it with that 4th out in the inning.
And something they haven't had many of this year, a big inning.
Yeah, especially in the 7th inning. That 7th inning has usually been the inning that they give it up in.
Yeah,
it's been 2-1 in that inning for the opposition.
He'd been outscored 80-41 on the year.
Coming into today, now you could put 7 on the board and make it 48.
A strike called on the inside edge.
Tommy gives me a little note. Since the error, 9 for 11. So there you have it. That's the extra out that you get in an inning, and they took advantage of it, which is a good thing.
Chu strikes out. He has a hat trick of Ks today. And in a rare offensive outburst for the Tribe, he really wasn't in the mix. They intentionally passed him in the 7th inning to load the bases to face Travis Hafner.
Yes,
and you know what? You can't tell me that might have been in the back of Hafner's mind going up there, you know?
Well, why not? It should be. When somebody wants to walk a hitter to get to you, that's exactly what's on your mind. I want to get them.
Hafner
make them pay.
Lifted for Shelley Duncan here in the 8th inning. Little squibber toward the mound. Seddon with the flip. The inning is over, but the Indians get 2 more. And we'll go to the 9th. 9-1 Cleveland. As we go to the ninth inning here at Progressive Field. Chris Perez on for the 49th time this year. Not a save situation for the Tribe closer, but
well, get him work.
Chance to get some work.
That's right. Off day tomorrow, so the next time he could possibly pitch would be Tuesday, so you keep him sharp. He didn't pitch in last night's game, so let's go. Get him some work. He hasn't pitched in this series.
And a fastball strike to Adam Moore, who is 0 for 2 today. These people are unbelievable, I tell you what. John Kriepop threw us that note earlier.
Right.
About the last time an Indians pitcher went 6 innings, allowed 1 hit, walked 6 in a ball game without allowing a run, was Rick Waits. Ed Zagantz, who was an old sports editor at the Mansfield News Journal, said that was opening day. And he said it was below freezing. He said, I watched a couple innings from the stands and then I retreated to the press box. Strike 3 called. Moore is out looking to start the 9th inning. And he's barking at the home plate umpire, down 8 runs. After the ball game over on Sports Time Ohio, we'll have the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. We'll look back at the highlights, talk with one of the heroes from today's win, and get you set up for the upcoming road trip for the Tribe. Back out of play. Coming up next here on Channel 3, NBC Sports will have the Dew Tour. Saunders fouls it out of play. Michael Saunders 0 for 3 this afternoon. I could see AJ being a Dew Tour guy.
Yeah, a Dew Tour. You're probably right. I could too.
Skateboarding, BMXing. The 0-2. Struck him out looking. 2 down. Chris Perez has wiped out the first 2 Mariners, both caught peeking. And now we'll get a pinch hitter. Matt Tuiasosopo will bat for the Mariners with 2 down here in the 9th.
The pitching staff for the Indians, 8 strikeouts this afternoon. Masterson had 3, Sip 1, Rafael Perez 1, Smith had 1, and now Chris Perez will end the game.
A line drive to short takes care of that, and the Indians, for the second straight series, avoid the sweep by winning the finale. And they did it in fine fashion here today, breaking out the bats and winning it by a final score of 9-1. Now, the winning pitcher, as you mentioned, Rick, is Tony Sip for the Tribe here today. He goes to 2-2 on the year. The loser for Seattle is Felix Hernandez, who drops to 8-10. With the win, the Indians now 49-69. Mariners drop to 46-72. It is time now for the play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Switch to Key and get a free Sony Bloggy. Visit key.com/bloggy for details.
Let's go back to that 7th inning. 2 outs. First pitch, Valbuena hits it to Figgins. He boots the ball. Another throw that's a close play. Bang, bang. Kotsman felt he kept his foot on the bag, and he may have on the corner of that base. Valbuena was called safe. And after that, all they did was proceed to score 7 runs, and that ended up taking care of the ball game. That's going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
Well, the Tribe rolls to a 9-1 win over the Seattle Mariners, and you can now add Felix Hernandez's name to that list of ace starters the Tribe has beaten up on this year. They've beaten Lester, Lackey, Sabathia, Neiman, Markham, Romero, Arroyo, Buchholz, Burley, and now Felix Hernandez. We'll be back with the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show on Sports Time Ohio. Stay tuned. Dave Chidowski.